Welcome. I'm Mayor Gary Sulz, and with me today is Taha Attiah, Community Development Coordinator for the City of Revelstoke. Today, Taha is giving us an update on all the exciting projects going on in the Community Economic Development Department. Taha, your department's a pretty busy place. Can you give us a high-level overview of the things that you've got going on?
Yeah, I hope you don't mind. I brought my notes just to
No,
cover it
absolutely.
all.
No,
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah.
No, the overall our department is about people and business, and so we want the economy to be running well, and so we want healthy and people with that can afford to be here and their well-being's high, and they can and they're in businesses that are in strong sectors, a diverse economy, and overall we're just we're working right now with myself, an economic development coordinator, our director Ingrid Bond, and then an Indigenous liaison and a tech coordinator as well.
Great. So basically four in your department.
Mm-hmm.
You want to, just give us a kind of a rundown on some of the priorities that you're working on?
Yeah, I think really housing is at the top of our priority list for this summer. We have we're working with a lot of partners, a lot of city departments to bring together a housing accelerator fund application, which is a national grant. So that's really our priority. And then a few other housing files that we're working on are the wrap up of the emergency shelter project. Community Connections has been running that for us and doing a great job. And now they're going to be moving over to a more long-term model that's not just grant funded, but actually working with BC Housing on that. So looking forward to what that plan will look like.
Sure.
And we've also applied for funding for a housing coordinator to support some people who are in the rental market and whenever if they're in a place where they need some support getting into their next rental, they have someone to count on.
So basically someone that'll lead them through the process and try and get them.
Yeah, help them navigate the market, because it can be tricky moving from one rental to the next, especially at the really tight points in the market.
Yeah.
High winter, high in the summer. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the things that we've going on, so you talked a little bit about housing initiatives. What about poverty reduction?
So we released that strategy to council, and now we're going to start sharing it with the community more and moving through. So housing and affordability are really at the top of poverty reduction now too. And so we're going to be thinking more about housing. We're going to be working with the food security strategy.
Right.
With Melissa over at Community Connections, who helps us with the city food coordination as well. And then and then also working with there's some conversation going on at the provincial level around transit, about what a regional transportation model might look like for the city of Revelstoke. And childcare is also on our radar. So those are really the biggest ticket items for families, monthly costs, and so we're thinking about all of those and working with our partners on them in different respects.
Yeah, good. Thank you for that. I think when I speak to some of the people in the community, they're reflecting exactly what you're saying is housing and affordability, but also childcare. Right? You look at those sorts of things, and then all of those things come down to everyone's ability to be able to feed themselves, right?
Totally. And we want them to be working together, because our businesses don't thrive without our people being well supported. So it all comes together.
Well, that's good. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Community Economic Development website. So you're updating that, or you're working on that, or how's that work?
Yeah. That website is really it's going to be sort of we want data on and we want to be aware of what's going on at the community level with data, and be able to use that to guide our recommendations. So we've been working on a data dashboard. We released that prototype a little while ago, and that was supported by some of our Economic Development Commission members, and now we are looking for a place to put that, as well as a home for some investment attraction work that we're going to be moving forward on, and also a place for the community to come and see all the projects that we're working on in a little more detail.
So the idea of that whole website will be kind of a transparent thing for the community. They'll be able to access it, give input. That's the intention. Is that correct?
Yeah, input and give feedback and really be aware, because we do work with a lot of different partners in the community, and we want to be really sharing all of their successes as well.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that, because having something that's comprehensive that ties everything together basically says to the community, listen, you can come to this one area and be able to see things and then ask questions or get information. And that's great. So I appreciate that. So CED, Community Economic Development, Innovation Center. So what's happening with that?
Yeah, we've been in our new, our updated office for a little while now, and I think the whole team there is really working well together. So we're really happy to be working alongside the Chamber, Community Futures, and Tourism over there, and we're just really getting rolling. The new ED for the newer ED for the Chamber is a great part of the team that's joined, Carolyn Lepschel, and Kevin Dorius over at Community Futures doing great, and then we've got Megan in Tourism that's running a great team as well. So I think the whole group is really working well, and we're looking forward to what's to come.
Yeah, it's interesting for me when I hear from my colleagues in other communities, and they're going like, wow, Gary, you guys have got them all together in one area. It seems to be a great way of doing things. And from my perspective, it works well. But you're in the trenches, you're over there. So when people come to you, they can see everyone else as well. Do you feel like this is a great thing, having all of you together in one unit?
Totally, yeah. When we're in a conversation and we need to bring them to one of our partners and they're right across the hall, that makes things work really well, and it makes things happen fast. So we want to be encouraging people to connect with us and really sharing those successes through the website as well, and making sure that people know where to find us and how to contact everyone in that building, and
Good.
Really
I appreciate that. So before we kind of draw this to a close, Taha, is there anything else that you think the community should know about it? We touched on everything that at least a little bit to say, hey, this is what we're about.
Yeah, that's a pretty good overview of what we're doing. I think if I was going to dig into anything a little bit more, I would say just that we have a lot of work to do with the community on housing through the summer and this fall, and we shared a podcast about housing over the spring, sort of late winter, spring,
right?
And we have a bit more to come on that, because we want to talk about what the city's plan is and what the city's plan to work with the community is.
No,
that's going to be exciting.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that. And I think the interesting thing for me anyway is when we started kind of talking about housing with the Housing Summit in late winter, early spring, and how things have transpired. We're moving on things. We're getting things done and moving forward. But the key for me is actually seeing the building and housing getting built. Now we just need to make sure that we continue that momentum as we move forward. So thank you for that, for what you're doing on that. It's an important thing. So thanks for joining me today, Taha. As I said earlier, the Community Economic Development Department's a busy place. It's impressive to see how many initiatives you have in the works and the benefits that these projects will bring ultimately to the citizens of Revelstoke. So thanks as well to our audience for listening in today. Be sure to watch our latest videos in the City Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram accounts. Thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
Great. Thanks, Taha.